Today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am so grateful to have each of you all here today. We're going to have just a great episode lined up for you. And it's an extended kind of episode today because we are talking about Gabe's Heart Foundation. And with Gabe's Heart Foundation, we're doing what's called Giving Tuesday, Give-A-Thon today. So throughout the day, you'll be seeing us come on and broadcast. And I encourage you all to share this broadcast right away with everyone that you can think of. Get them in the virtual studio audience and afford them the opportunity for one of the largest days of giving in history, which is Giving Tuesday. It's where nonprofits get the opportunity to showcase what it is that we are looking to accomplish within the world and be able to have donors, people that care about different causes and initiatives, to come in and be able to give to a specific organization. And so it is our desire for you to consider Gabe's Heart Foundation and to be able to give to our cause. And so welcome to today's episode. And I am Kim Jacobs, the host of the Kim Jacobs Show, but I'm also Gabriel Michael Jacobs' mom. And so I'm honored to be able to represent him as founder of Gabe's Heart Foundation.org. Gabe'sHeart.org is where you can go to learn more and also tell you about our organization. Gabe's Heart Foundation was started in 2015, April 9th, actually. It was retroactively given the opportunity to go back and be a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And I thought that alone already kicked things off at a whole different level whenever I found out that the IRS actually had went back and retroactively allowed Gabe's Heart Foundation to be founded and formed on April 9th, 2015. And the reason that that is so significant is because that's the day that he ultimately transitioned from this earth and went to heaven. So I know where Gabe is. I believe wholeheartedly. And again, everybody, we all share different spiritual beliefs. So this is Kim Jacobs' personal belief. Let me make sure I put that up, that the views, and make sure that we pop that comment up. The views that are expressed throughout the broadcast today are literally simply views of individuals. They are not views of necessarily the show itself or of Gabe's Heart Foundation or of any entity associated with our show broadcast. So I want to make sure that you all are aware of that. Every person coming on, they're sharing their personal stories, their personal testimonies, their tips, their ideas from their own personal walk. All right. So glad to have you all here today. And hopefully we will have a great time here. Now, I do want to let you know that there are different amounts that you can give. Our goal is to raise $45,000 to be able to place defibrillators, portable AED defibrillators in public spaces around the country, wherever young people congregate. So we know that that's in schools, that's in gymnasiums, that's in churches, that's in centers and recreational centers, and you name it, around the world. Young people are always somewhere. Grocery stores, young people are everywhere where we all go and exist. So to be able to have portable defibrillators placed in public spaces, it will, I believe, will allow the opportunity for extended time where the paramedics are looking very diligently to arrive to do life-altering procedures and measures. But it takes time just with traffic for them to get there. So when they arrive, then hopefully by that time, CPR and possibly a portable defibrillator being on site could have made just a little bit of a difference. Now, we're not ultimately 100% in control of when someone transitions from this earth, but I believe that if we could get those defibrillators in public spaces, guess what? We can possibly help extend somebody's life on this earth. So won't you join with us today as we go through this day of giving on Giving Tuesday, and we have our cause of being able to raise funds for defibrillators. We'll be doing a gala, and we have lots of other great things lined up for Gabe's Heart Foundation throughout 2024. But I'm excited about what we're already doing. Let me put up some of the ways that you can give. Here's how you can automatically start giving. I'm going to leave that there just for a moment so you can officially scan the QR code. It takes you to our Givelify page for Gabe's Heart Foundation. And I can see in real time some of the donations that are coming in there if you use that QR code. We also have Cash App, which is Gabe's Heart, $ Gabe's Heart. We also have Givelify, and I put a bit.ly link there just to make it a little bit easier for you to get to if you want to put those letters in, and it'll take you right to Givelify for Gabe's Heart Foundation. Also, you can just put Gabe's Heart Foundation plus Givelify right on the Google, and it'll take you right to the Gabe's Heart page. We have PayPal. And if you type in paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation, it'll take you where you can donate through PayPal. Or you can go to our website, Gabe's Heart, Gabe's heart.org. And that's another way that you can give. All right. Now, we have audio podcast listeners too. So sometimes when I'm spelling things out, that's the reason that you're hearing me do that. But very honored to have you all here today. And we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to hear from Sherelle D. Mims. Okay, we'll be right back right after our first commercial break. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you for joining today.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work, work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, everyone, we are back and quite excited to have with us backstage a woman that probably needs no introduction, but I will introduce her. She is a nurse for over 20-something years. She says she stopped counting. She stopped counting after 20-something years, y'all. Okay, she's a global caregivers network and speaker, owner, founder. She works with caregivers everywhere around the world. She hosts conferences and just recently had a great conference. And she's an empowering caregivers to give their very best. When we're caring for people, you want to give your best. She's an author, she's a speaker, and she is none other than Sherelle Mims, who also, let me bring her in. Guess what? She also just recently celebrated a birthday. How are you?
I am fantastic, Kim. Dr. Kim, thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful thing that's going on today. I love it. I thank you for having me on today.
Well, thank you for being on today. I'll put some red and blue hearts in honor of Gabe back there. I'm so excited that you took the time to be here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you come on today to talk with us about Gabe's Heart Foundation and Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is where over like 3 billion people are giving to nonprofit organizations, and we want Gabe's Heart Foundation to be one of them to be considered. So talk to us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. So as she mentioned, I am Sherelle D. Mims. I am a speaker, #1 best-selling author. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am all about caregiving. What brought me on today with Dr. Kim and the giving, right? The heart. It's a heart thing, right? It even talks about in the Bible, it talks about the heart. The heart, you have to have an unconditional love for people, right? Unconditional. Don't put no stipulations on it. And guess what? The heart is everything. The heart is, I mean, that's the pumping aspect of everything. This is why you breathe. This is why the blood go to the, I call the heart, the pumping mechanism to everything in the body. If you don't have a heart, then it's not gonna, I mean, it's nothing else there. And guess what? The brain and the heart goes together. So you always see in most cases, if the heart is going out, unfortunately, then the brain is going to follow. Or in some cases, you may already be brain dead in some cases, and your heart will follow. So always remember, the brain and the heart goes together. And people have to have a heart for people in order to be a wonderful person in this world. So this giving today, everyone, doesn't matter how much. Dr. Kim have already given you ways to contribute to this organization. With her son, unfortunately, has passed away at a young age. The heart, the Gabe Heart Foundation. This is something that you want to give to, donate. It doesn't matter how much you give, 50, 95, or 950, whatever your heart tells you to give that amount. Don't hesitate. And so Dr. Kim, I'm here to just share my story of how I unfortunately have went through a little spell in the workplace.
Yes, please tell us. Yes, because before you even tell us the story, what I liked how you were tying. Most people talk about the heart just as the muscle that it is, and the fact that you tied it to just everything universally, saying that it's the part of who we are, why we exist, kind of, is amazing how that correlation came together in what you were sharing.
Absolutely.
So you being a nurse, you have a lot of different instances where you get to see the true heart of people, especially when they're sick. They're in the rawest mode possible. So at some point, I want us to talk about that, but I want to hear your personal story first.
Absolutely. So yes, we can go back to it was in the 90s, right? I work on at that time, Dr. Kim, I was working on a medical surgical telemetry unit. Telemetry is a heart unit, right? So I've always dealt with the heart. It was just so, it was like an epitome when I seen this about the heart. And you asked me to come on and share my story because this was the opportune time to share it. This happened let's say over 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago when this incident happened. It was an unfortunate incident that happened to me, like I said, in the workplace. What happened? I'm in the patient room. Just imagine this. You're in the patient room. You did everything that you need to do for them. You didn't suction them. This is on a long-term acute care unit where vents and things like that. So I went in my patient room. I suctioned the patient. I did everything that needed to be done, fluffed them, and tucked them for the night, right?
Right.
As I was walking out of the patient's room, oh my goodness. It's like I had this overwhelming sensation and my heart just started fluttering. I can literally feel my heart coming through my chest. I can literally feel it coming through my chest. I had to literally just stop at the patient door and call for help. I was so glad
you had a sign. You had a sign that something wasn't right immediately, even though you were there trying to take care of somebody else. Something started happening with you, and you were like, "This is not right," because you're a nurse. You know this is not right.
Absolutely. Okay. So this thing just stopped me in my track, right? Heart
Hmm.
fluttering. I can literally feel it fluttering coming through my chest wall. I'm sweating. I'm getting short of breath. Oh, come on. I mean, we don't need to figure this thing out. We know something is wrong.
Right.
I call out for help. Thank God the nurse's station was right across from the patient's room. I'm telling you, he's seen it. My charge nurse came and she, girl, thank you, Jesus. She came, she assisted me to a room that was clean. Nobody was in it. She laid me on the bed. She did put the tele monitor on me, the
Okay.
heart monitor on me. And when she read it, she said, "Oh my goodness, Sherelle, we got to get you out of here." My heart rate was 135, or so, like 130, 140. This is what I mean by fluttering. You have
Right.
what they call atrial flutter, atrial fibrillation.
Right.
My heart was fluttering. It was like quivering. Look, you see my hand? It was just doing this. It was just fluttering. So can you just imagine your heart
No.
fluttering and you cannot even stop? You just feeling the effects of it.
But
So
you were still
Lord,
conscious and everything, and they were able to, you could feel all of this happening when you were conscious, but you were trying to figure out what's going to be the solution. But you two engage with what's happening in your body to even have a solution yourself. So they get you where?
yes, to the ER, the nearest ER, which was right down the street. They call the EMS people in. Someone called 911. EMS, the paramedics come. They move me over onto the cart, get me to the hospital, the ER. The first thing they did, they changed me over, put the heart monitor on me in the ER. Then by the time I got there, now my heart rate is 160.
Okay. So now
So the
what's the
doctor,
outcome? What's happening here?
I'm telling you,
You're here?
immediately they just came. I'm still conscious. I'm still aware of my environment. It's nothing different. Just that my heart was beating so fast that they couldn't slow it down. I don't even know what precipitated it. I don't know what triggered it. I don't know what was going on in my body at that time. I'm telling you, I didn't know what was going on. All I know and all I felt was, this is not right. I'm telling you, I was to the point where I was literally crying because, I mean, it was just beating so fast, I couldn't even keep up. So can you just imagine, Dr. Kim and the listening audience, that your heart is beating so fast that you can't even slow down? Even if I took a deep breath, it still didn't make a difference. So something was going on internally with my heart. The doctor in the ER, he decided that, okay, we're going to give her something. They gave me something to slow it down. I stayed in there for over 24 hours. Of course, they're going to monitor you for at least 24 hours. And so he
Absolutely.
wanted to, they started hydration, IV, right? Fluid. I could have been a little dehydrated. They didn't know at the time. They was just doing things to bring the heart rate down. IV fluids. He was just wanting to monitor me. He gave me some morphine. He thought it because in that case, the morphine was because he might have thought it was pain that was going on that could have triggered it. He did not know. He was treating the symptoms.
Right.
And when he did all of that, they still monitored me. And then after all this was over with, I finally came down to normal sinus rhythm, if you will.
Okay.
Right? We went from atrial fluttering from 160. Now, this didn't happen right away that the heart rate came down. It took a little while, maybe about a good half an hour to an hour to bring the heart rate down.
Okay.
But Dr. Kim, you know what? And
What?
doing all of this, it was just, you can just feel it. I was just overwhelmed. I don't even know what triggered it. I have no idea what was going on that triggered that. Now, they say it may have been too much caffeine. I know at one time I was drinking Mountain Dew. I don't even do Mountain Dew like I used to.
Okay. Okay. So they tried to pinpoint it for what it could be, which in their estimation was something to do with possible caffeine overload, but regardless, your heart was racing out of control and beyond your control. You being a nurse and focusing on the heart in your telemetric unit and stuff, what tips or any advice or thoughts or anything that you can share, especially with today being Giving Tuesday here with Gabe's Heart Foundation? We're looking to raise $45,000 towards being able to place defibrillators in public spaces where young people congregate. We have a gala coming up and lots of other initiatives as
Mhm.
well. So what are your thoughts on that? Because we're going to keep going and have our next person come in shortly.
Absolutely. So what the Gabe Foundation is going on today, like I just shared earlier, just give. This is for a good cause. You never know what you need to do in life to make it better for someone else. It may not be you. It may be someone else in your family that have heart issues. It doesn't always have to be you. We got to get out of that me mentality and think about those that's coming behind and before you. Okay? Give. This is the day to give. So, Dr. Kim, I thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to share this for everyone that's listening. Listen, keep your heart healthy.
Well,
I know
thank you.
sometimes it may be a family history, but don't go for that one. Just keep your heart healthy. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim.
Thank you so much for coming on. And let me also tell people how they can stay connected with you, Sherelle. Give them your information as well, please.
Absolutely. That's you can connect with me at Sherelle at globalcaregiversnetwork.com. And that's Sherelle with an E, Sherrell. Then you can also connect with me at Sherelle at globalcaregivers.net. That's my email. And listen, let's get back on the phone. Let's get back to the basic. 260-218-3377. Call me, connect with me. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Dr.
say that
Kim.
number one more time because I don't have it on the banner here, but Sherelle is
Sure.
SHERRELL dot MEMS and her is globalcaregiversnetwork.com. Make sure you stay connected with her. And what's your phone number again?
260-218-3377. Connect with me.
Okay, and I'll put
And
that
thank you
in the
so much,
comments.
Dr. Kim.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Listen, everyone, we are doing let me go to a commercial break here shortly, but we're doing a Give-A-Thon today on Giving Tuesday. It's one of the largest days of giving for nonprofit organizations, and we're asking that you would choose Gabe's Heart organization to be able to donate to help us raise $45,000 to place defibrillators around the country in public
Mhm.
spaces where young people congregate. It is our desire to have that happen and to support our gala and lots of initiatives that we have going on throughout the year. So I'm super excited about this opportunity to have this Give-A-Thon, and we have quite a few things lined up for you today. We will always share with you ways that you can give. You can scan the QR code right there, and it will let you go right to the Givelify site. You can also use Cash App, $Kim. I'm so used to saying my show. Okay, wait a minute. I'm hosting. This is about Gabe's Heart. $Gabe's Heart. Givelify, we have the bit.ly link there that'll shorten it for you, or you can just put Givelify plus Gabe's Heart Foundation, and it'll take you right to our Givelify site. In real time, we're monitoring the donations that come in there. PayPal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation, or you can always just visit gabesheart.org and you can give there on the site. Thank you so much, Sherelle, for being here today. We're going to take a quick commercial break, everyone, and we will be right back right after this break. You know what? Backstage, we do have, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we have someone backstage that you'll be able to. All right, everyone, we are back and we are doing our Give-A-Thon today on Giving Tuesday. Make sure you all encourage everyone you know to give today to Gabe's Heart Foundation. I have backstage none other than she's very near and dear to me. I'll keep it that way. But she is here representing today Gabe's Heart Foundation and as a chairman of our board. Here she is. Sean, how are you?
I'm excellent. I hope you are, Kimberly.
I am so glad to have you on today. Thank you for taking a moment out of your schedule to appear here with us. Talk to us and tell us what you have to say, please.
Listen, as the newly elected chairman of the board for Gabe's Heart Foundation, I am elated to come to you today. I don't have to share with you what Gabe's Heart Foundation is all about and what we're doing, but perhaps some people in our listening audience and our viewing audience don't know what we have in store. This is our 8th year of operation. Now, in many instances, we would be super excited about operating, but I want to just be very honest and pour from my heart. The whole reason this organization exists is because Gabriel Michael Jacobs no longer exists, right? And you've heard the story many times from Kimberly, from family members. I know I've been on here, but Giving Tuesday, it hits a little bit differently. And I want to tell people why. We just finished up Thanksgiving. We just finished with our family and our friends. And every year, somebody, if you look around the table, they're not there. And so for the past 8 years, that's been the Jacobs family experience, losing Gabriel Michael Jacobs. When I say losing, certainly he's not lost. We know exactly where he is. But when we talk about a person not existing with us anymore, we need to take time and reflect what happened. And so when we talk about heart health, sudden cardiac arrest, sudden pediatric cardiac arrest is a little bit different because there's nothing you can really do ahead of time to say, well, wait a minute, something could be going on with my child's heart, because you don't know. In many instances, the first symptom is sudden cardiac arrest, which oftentimes leads to death. Now, this may sound a little morose. I may be taking you down a little bit, but I want to take you down a road and build you back up because, as our previous guest said, you never know when this could be you, when it could be your child. And so my job here is to share some statistics and really make some analogies that I hope are salient and really hit home for our studio audience. I don't think there's a person on the planet who doesn't know who LeBron James is, right? You know he has a son, his namesake, Bronny James, who's also LeBron. Earlier this year, he experienced sudden pediatric cardiac arrest. And why is it pediatric? Because he's still in his teens. He was set to go and play basketball. He was a top recruit for the University of Southern California. Right now, he's having to sit it out. But one of the things that came to my mind, and I don't think it got as much publicity as I would like for it to have, he was saved because of an AED. Because in that particular facility, they had an AED, they had staff on hand who knew how to use it. This young man is still with us. And so that is something to definitely be celebrated, because it could be a very different experience for the James family. And if it were, I'm sure people around the world would say, oh my God, what can I do to help? And if that's you, if you're one of the ones who you jump on the bandwagon because of a celebrity, I want you to think in terms of all of us being celebrities, if you will. You're a celebrity in your own home. People know you. Your family members know you. Your friends know you. They love you. They care about you. You want to do everything that you possibly can to elongate your life, to elongate the lives of those that mean something to you. And so you have that opportunity to do so today with Giving Tuesday, whether it's $9.50, $95, $950. Now, why 95? Because Gabriel Michael Jacobs played football and 95 was his number. So we always want to keep Gabe at the forefront of all of our efforts. And this is a great way to meld the two, to make sure that you're giving that $95, that you are making sure that you can do your part to help keep somebody else's heart beating. And I want you to just take a moment. And if you remember this from a movie, then great. If you were to close your eyes and imagine you're at a basketball game for your son, your daughter, someone you love, and immediately they fell out in the floor, would you know what to do? Would you want someone to know what to do? We have the answer. It's having an AED in that facility that someone can pick up. You don't need a medical professional to be there, because the AEDs that we have a partnership with Defib Tech. Am I saying that right, Kim? Defib Tech?
Defib Tech, yes.
Yeah. Our partnership with DefibTech gives us a deep discount where we are able to purchase these defibrillators that talk you through. They say power on. They tell you exactly where to place the pads. They tell you clear, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the reason they say clear so you don't get the shock. And what does the AED do? It sends electrical currents through the machine, which is hooked up to your child or your loved one's chest, sends that electric shock through there so that there can be life, and you charge as many times as the machine tells you to. And that is how the machine works. It's just that simple as going right now, scanning the QR reader code, going to Gabe's Heart Foundation, and giving your $95, making sure that you share this with your friends. Now, I know there's every kind of organization participating in Giving Tuesday today. I know you've got a limited amount of funds. I want you to prioritize life. I want you to think about the person, and if you had the opportunity to save them before they could be saved, right? Because sometimes we don't know when the unexpected is going to happen. It's just unexpected. That's why it's called unexpected.
Yeah.
But if you've already sown into good ground, which Gabe's Heart Foundation is, then you can best believe that if your child is anywhere participating in a sport where children do, whether it's sports, whether it's the rec center, whether it's the mall, you want that immediate help to get to them. And you can play a hand in doing that today. It's as easy as $9.50. Now, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't already done. Right? I put my money into this organization because I believe in its mission, not just because I had the opportunity to know Gabe, but I believe in the mission of saving lives. I believe in the mission of random acts of kindness. And the most random act of kindness to me is being able to save somebody's life. So I want to take a break and I want to share some of these statistics, Kim, because right now people just hear me talking off of emotion, but I want to share with you what the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation has put together in the way of statistics, because sometimes numbers can be a little bit more compelling.
Well, let me do this. Sean, if you don't mind. Sure. I'd love to just put that actual QR code back up.
Yes.
And give people a chance to just pause for a moment, and that'll give you a chance to take a sip of water too. Because
I was walking up a storm, right?
You're doing a great job. You doing it. I was like, you are passionate about it, and I love that. And super excited to have you here. Let me just put this up for a moment, and I'll give you all. Instead of just taking a commercial break, I'm gonna just give you a chance to just. Take a moment, if you will, and scan the code. You can go and donate now to gabesheart.org. You can also donate via Cash App, $Gabe's Heart. Give-A-Thon, there's the bit.ly link there, or you can type in Give-A-Thon plus Gabe's Heart Foundation in your browser, and it'll take you right to the page. And we are tracking that in real time as well. And we do see your donations coming in various platforms. So I will start sharing that we are getting donations. And so thank you for giving on Giving Tuesday. Our goal is $45,000. So any contribution that you make, or any contribution that your friends and family and social media friends make, will all help support getting defibrillators in public spaces where young people congregate. Now, it will also help towards our Gala and many other initiatives that we do have that we're working on, but we want to make sure you know that we're getting defibrillators placed in public spaces. And then you can go to paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation. And let me know, Sean, when you're ready for the statistics.
I'm always ready.
You were born ready. All right. Thank you all so much for taking the time to give right there. We appreciate it. And I'm going to have Sean move forward with some of our statistics. Thank you for being here today. Go ahead, Sean.
Absolutely. So more than 356,000 people have an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest in the United States every single year. What does that mean? And why is it important out of the hospital? Because in the hospital, they have these AEDs, they're crash carts, and they say clear, and they can start your heart back up. But if you're in the mall, if you're at a football or basketball or gymnastics event with your child, you don't have that crash cart readily available. And that's what we're trying to do. And of the 356,000, about 60 to 80% of those individuals die before ever reaching the hospital. So I just want to lean into that, because we're talking about time. And I know some of you have seen the memes that talk about time, the value of a second, the value of a minute, the value of an hour. Every second counts when you're talking about restoring somebody's life. If their heart has stopped, if they stopped breathing, we're not talking about hours, we're talking about precious seconds. And having that AED in proximity makes all the difference. Yes, the most common cause of sudden cardiac arrest is an irregular heart rhythm called ventricular fibrillation. Can that be detected if you know what you're looking for? Many of us don't know. And I want to take a moment to say, it's not your fault.
Right.
You're not medical professionals. You wouldn't know. And even a medical professional wouldn't necessarily look at their child and say, hey, you have irregular ventricular fibrillation. You wouldn't know those kinds of things.
Let me interject there for 1 second. Literally, Gabe was the bill of health, Sean, in our family. So he did go for every doctor visit, every checkup. He was the bill of health out of all of our children that exist. We had him as the one that was like, yay, nothing's going on with you. Yeah. Nothing that was medically confirmed was going on with him at all. No, nothing.
And so I think that's important to dispel the myth that, hey, guys, just take care of your heart, check your heart. These are things that you're not going to know. It's kind of like when we talk about high blood pressure being the silent killer. It's silent because most people aren't checking their blood pressure, right? You're just living life. You don't know. I've had friends. I personally have gone into the doctor's office thinking I'm great, and they were super concerned that my blood pressure was elevated in that day. I felt fine, but I wasn't. See? And so it's the same with sudden, hence the word sudden, cardiac arrest. It happens just like that. Half of the US workers cannot locate an AED at work. And so if you're watching this, if you're taking a break, like kind of cheating the program just a little bit, and you're hanging out with us on today, I want you to look around in your office building, wherever you are, and find out, can you locate an AED machine?
That is such a great question, Sean.
Can you locate one, right? Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Prior to Gabe's death, prior to this organization deciding that we were going to niche down a little bit and focus on AEDs in addition to the other things that we're doing, I never thought about it. And then when I started to think about it, especially at my youngest daughter's school, she is in the 6th grade, I noticed the AEDs are in the office. Right? And usually your schools have wings, don't they? 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. So is an AED machine located on every wing? It's great to be in the office, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you had to walk from the front office of your child's school to your child's classroom, how long would it take you? And I want you to think about it in terms of how long your child would be down, and if that's going to degrade the quality of their life. And if that bothers you in any fashion, give $9.50 right now. Give $95 right now. Do it because what you're doing makes the difference in the life of a child. I'd rather you be like my grandma used to say, I'd rather you need it, and I'd rather you have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
That's good.
Because this, to need it and not have it, is the difference of somebody being able to graduate high school, go on to trade or college, be able to experience all that their parents thought that they would experience. No parent thinks that they're going to be looking down on their 12-year-old. No one thinks that. Does it happen? Of course, life happens to us. But as life is happening, there are some things that we can plan for, and we can plan for the future by giving into Gabe's Heart Foundation so that we can place these AEDs in public places everywhere where children are. Now, many of your children play sports. Gabe was a super athlete, right? Yeah. And so I certainly wouldn't want my son, which I don't have any, but if I did, I wouldn't want them to have to meet Gabe on the football field. But that's a gathering place for us. It's a time where older men relive their heyday, right? And where moms and sisters are out there cheering on until something happens, right? 43.8% of athletes with sudden cardiac arrest during competitive sports survive to hospital discharge. 43%, but we're not quite at 50 yet. And I want you to think, that's the percentage that survives. What about the ones who don't? Every single year, we hear about students who are participating in their sports and there's a collapse during a practice, right? And they say it in a nice way. There's a collapse. We don't talk about the recovery because 8 times out of 10, statistically, there is no recovery. You've dropped your son or daughter off at practice and you will never pick them up again. And I just want to let that marinate because many of us do it. My 4 girls are all athletes. And there's not ever been a time where I thought I wouldn't go and pick them up. But yet that's happening on a daily basis. As I said in the beginning of the statistics, 356,000 individuals die from sudden cardiac arrest every year. Large part of it is because there is no AED present. And if you're in a facility where you don't even know where the AED is, it's problematic. And I'll leave you with this last statistic. Sports-related sudden cardiac arrest accounts for 39% of sudden cardiac arrest among those who are 18 and younger. Sports-related. So your kids are out playing sports. They're under the age of 18. This is a high incidence. This could happen to anyone. Can we necessarily prevent sudden cardiac arrest? We may not be able to prevent it, but can we prevent the deaths? Absolutely. How? I just told you. By giving to this organization so that we can purchase AEDs and get them in public spaces. Now, are we the only organization that's focused on AED distribution? Absolutely not. But are we the organization that's dedicated to eliminating death of sudden cardiac arrest? I didn't say that right. We're trying to eliminate deaths that arise from sudden cardiac arrest because there's no AED present. If you have an AED present, the likelihood of survival goes up tremendously. So why wouldn't you want someone to benefit from that? Why would you not give to an organization like this? Why would you not take a picture of the QR code, share it with your friends, and ask them to match you? Match you at $9.50, at $95, at $950. Well, Sean, what does it take to buy an AED? I'm not trying to buy a whole one. Okay, that's fine. Buy a piece of one for $9.50. An entire AED, the ones that we are in partnership to purchase, it's $660. Now, if you want the deluxe kit, which gives you the program management, shows people how to use it, how to maintain it for a year, that's $720. If you and your friends, if 5 of your friends got together, you can purchase one today. You don't have to do it by yourself. We shouldn't do it by ourselves. We're in community with one another, right? That's why we are here, to be in community, to help one another. So I'm asking you, pleading with you to save a life and do so by giving to this organization and help us purchase AEDs so that children can live out their purpose and their parents can see their children grow up and do all the things that they ever imagined for them to do. We can't hear Kim in this moment.
Yeah, I muted myself so I wouldn't be crying and wiping and stuff. So I wouldn't be disturbing you while you were talking.
No, and I'm sure that it's overwhelming. And as many of you are watching and listening, I have to say this, that our founder is the whole reason this organization exists. I don't know a mother. I'm a mother of 4. I don't know that I would have been thinking about anybody else's children when I lost mine. But immediately, this is what came to Kim to do, to start a foundation that could be a legacy builder for her child so that the legacy of Gabe could continue. At 12 years old, you wonder, well, what kind of legacy did he have? Kindness, reaching out to other children, making sure that they could eat, making sure that they were protected, making sure that they were communicated with if they did not speak, because there was a child who was nonverbal who knew sign language, and Gabe taught himself sign language so that he could communicate with him. There are adults who have not and will not live as fully as he did at 12 years old. His legacy is still continuing on today, partly because of the generosity of people like you, but also his mother, to not keep everything that Gabe was to herself, but to share him with the world, to say, let his light continue to shine through each of you, where we're giving and we're making a difference every single day, making a difference every single year through this organization. Now, our gala that we're going to have in 2024, it's going to be major. And it's not just the ball gowns. It's not just the hors d'oeuvres that you're passing around. We are there to raise money for at least 15 AEDs so that we can be a blessing to other organizations. And I want you to think about this. For those of you who attend households of faith, whether that be the church, whether that be the mosque, wherever it is, I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to put your mind at work, get a mental picture. Where's the AED in your church? Does your church even have one? What would you do if someone were to pass out right then and there? Yes, you're going to call for the doctor. Yes, you're going to do your chest compressions to the tune of I, staying alive. You're going to do that. You're going to give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. However, if you had that AED present, the chances of sister or brother, whomever, goes up tremendously. And if you can't get a virtual picture in your mind of where an AED is in your church, that's all the reason why you should be giving to this organization, so that we can put these kinds of devices in public places where children are. And children are everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yes. Wow. Children are everywhere. That somebody type that in the comments section. Children are everywhere. I see lots of comments that's been coming in. And Sean, I just want to thank you for being here today. I see all of you all that are participating and joining in on this broadcast. Yes, we must do a better job as people. I see you, Sherelle, saying that. And also, a mother's love for her children will last forever. Everything that I do, I incorporate Gabe into it as just a given. When I sign a birthday card, when we celebrate anybody else, I see you, Mackenzie, as well. Thank you for being here. You say, hey, y'all. Hey, thank you so much for your support. Y'all share it with other people too. Listen, we can always include our loved ones in every aspect of our lives. We can do a celebratory moment of them at different occasions, but definitely we still celebrate Gabe's birthday and have candles and all the regular celebration that we do for everyone else. We do that in honor of Gabe. So there's a way, knowing whatever your theory is, that in my case, that I believe he's still celebrating with us every single day. And so I'm honored for you to be here. Yes, Virginia, this is absolutely awesome. Thank you for your comment. Within the, I don't have my glasses now. Okay. Within the last 5 years that I know, I have been recommended by AHA to have AHA to have defibrillators in public spaces. Yes, it is a recommendation. So hopefully with Gabe's Heart Foundation, we're able to help that become a reality by the donations and support that you all give. So Sean, anything else you wanted to say about you and what you also personally do? I know you came on and you talked about Gabe's Heart. No, I really want people that will go back and watch this throughout however long that they'll tune into it and be a part of it, to hear about what you do to bring value to this world as well.
Well, one of the ways I guess I bring value to this world is just being here, showing up as my authentic self every day. I'm Sean A. Hall. The A stands for today, authentic, right? What you see is what you get. You're not going to encounter me in one place and I'm different, and then here I'm another way. This is it. On 50 all day, all the time. But in real time, I occupy a space where I assist students and their families with college, financing, right? Going to college for free if that's their desire. I hear a lot of people saying, normalize going to trade schools. Nobody's not normalizing it. It is normal. It's very normal. People say everybody's not supposed to go to college. Stop. I want you to know that 68% of all United States jobs require some level of education beyond high school. College doesn't have to be a 4-year institution. If your kid is in a 2-year institution, it's still college. Anything beyond high school, it's still another level of education.
That's
and in
right.
this day and time, you're not going to be able to do all that you want to do without having another set of skills. So my jam, if you will, is to help families find money to go to college for free. Now, here it is. What I offer is for a fee. It's not for free. I don't do that. Because I believe this. I believe what the Bible says, that the workman is worthy of his hire.
Yes.
If you think that I'm worthy, right, to go and do this work, think that I'm worthy enough to hire to do that. If you are telling your children that they can go and do anything that they want to do, but you've not invested, you haven't planned for it, you are doing them a disservice. You don't wait until senior year to look for scholarships to start planning. When did you have that baby? 16 years ago? You should have started then. If you didn't, it's not too late. But what I will tell you is that there's money out there. People say money doesn't grow on trees. That's a lie. Yes, it does. You're just not in the right forest. It does grow on trees.
All right.
I've seen it every day. Every day. I think Rick Ross has a song, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. That's me. I'm out here hustling for the money for other people so that they can experience the lives, the kind of life that some of my children have had. I've got 4 daughters. My oldest is 26 and married. She went to school, not on a full ride. We had some scholarships here and there, and she did end up having to take out $20,000 for loans. Not too bad. But I said, you know what? We can do better. So I challenged myself. The next child on a full ride scholarship and money back in her pocket. The third child, she's at Virginia State this year, first year. We're not paying anything. We're not paying anything. Now that last one, she might challenge me, right? She might. She's just 11. But by the grace of God, I believe that she'll get to school debt-free too. So what I want to tell people is debt-free is your portion. You got to work it, not just want it. You can't just talk about it. I'm from the old school. Don't talk about it, be about it. So if you want to be about it, you can hit me at All Roads Education. Now, I will say this because people always ask, can I go in your DMs and ask questions? You know why? Because I want to give you my full attention, and I want to make sure that what you're asking is delivered in a way that you really get it. So if you want a consultation, there's a space for that. If you want to buy my little book that's an easy read, there's a space for that. But most importantly, if you just want to glean the nuggets that I have and not pay anything, follow me on Instagram at All Roads Education. I'm there. allroadseducation.com is my website. And I'm also on Facebook at Sean A. Hall. So
and here's her book as well. I always keep some of these things stored in my portfolio over here for you.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, make sure you stay connected with Sean A. Hall. And I'm going to put one more thing up about you.
Yeah,
I'm doing a whole lot over here hosting.
Oh, Lord.
But it's all coming together nicely. So I'm excited and honored. Prepare now, don't pay later. This is Sean Hall's book, Sean A. Hall's book, and I'd love for you to be able to get a copy. How can they get a copy of your book, Sean?
You can get a copy of the book by going to my website, All Roads Education. There's a link there. I'd love to get it in your hands. But most importantly, what I'd love for you to do, especially for today, if you thought about buying a book, right? I want you to take that money right now and donate it to Gabe's Heart because the title is appropriate. Prepare now. Prepare now. Don't pay later. Paying later could mean the difference between your child, your husband, your loved one not being here. But if you prepare by giving that $9.50, the $9.50, the $950 to Gabe's Heart Foundation, that is preparation now. So nobody has to pay later. We don't want this to be the situation for not another child. And if it's within our hands, which it is, you got $9.50. I know you do. I want you to send that Cash App. Send it right now with 10 of your friends. Let's go. What are you waiting on? Hustle. Get your fingers going. Move.
All right, everybody. Listen, for this Gabe's Heart Foundation Giving Tuesday Give-A-Thon, we are encouraging you to invite friends, family, coworkers, share this on social media, blast, letting people know that $9.50, $9,500, $950, 9 cents, whatever, 10 cents, if you want to round it up. Anything helps towards our cause of being able to get portable defibrillators put in public spaces around the country. It's not just limited to one specific area. Our desire, because we're having them be able to be drop shipped to specific locations. That's the contract that we have in place. So you don't have to feel like, oh, well, I'm all the way here in New Jersey, or I'm in New York, or I'm in Maryland, or I'm wherever you are. If there is a request, I wonder, Sean, if you wanted to touch on how possibly people can submit that their organization would be a good organization to receive this, because I know we're going to put a process in place.
Yeah. Listen, if you have a need for an AED, we want to know about that. We want to be a blessing to our community. And so we'd love for you to send us an email. Send it to Julia at, is it Gabe's Heart?
I'm going to send it to Kim at Gabe's Heart Foundation.
Send
and
it
then
to
that way I have it. And
Send
I'll send it to the board.
Send that information to Kim. But here's what we're going to need, guys. We want to know your demographics. What's your organization about? Why do you need the AED machine? And what are you going to do differently with that? That's important, because everybody's going to have, I'm going to be honest, right? Kim knows me to not cut cards. Everybody's going to want to have their hand out to receive one. But in order to receive it, we got to receive some funds so we can give them out. That's going to be important. And so you can apply. Your organization can apply. Let us know why you need the AED machine, the number of children that you have in your midst. If you have experienced anything with sudden cardiac arrest and you were able to maintain that person's life, but perhaps it would have been able to happen faster if you had an AED machine, we want to know that. And I also want to leave you with the thought of, we don't have to do this by ourselves, meaning as individuals, we are headed towards the end of the year. There are numerous companies that are doing financial sweeps, meaning that there's money that they have left over that has not been obligated. I would love for you to go in and talk to your boss and let him or her know, hey, I found a great organization that we should pour into. And we're a 501c3 nonprofit, which means you get a tax write-off. Like, you get a write-off, you get a write-off, you get a write-off. We want write-offs for everybody. We want to make sure that what we're doing here can continue, and we need your help to make that happen.
I love that. And I did put Julia's information as well, so that it's not one or the other. We just want to make sure you get the information to us. And so here you are. If you believe your organization should receive an AED defibrillator, and I hope I spelled everything right, Kim at Gabe'sHeartFoundation.org or Julia at Gabe'sHeartFoundation.org. Julia at Gabe'sHeartFoundation.org as well.
Do I do adults going back to school scholarships? There are scholarships for adults that want to go back to school. People ask that question every day. I want to give you a free piece of advice if I can. Kim, take a little.
Please go ahead. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful you all came on this Giving Tuesday Give-A-Thon with Gabe's Heart Foundation. We want to make sure. Let me tell you, I want to hear some advice, but I also want to make sure that you know, especially how you can formally give today. And I want to pop that up 1 second, and then we're going to come back and hear Sean's tips, because these are good tips that you need to walk away knowing. But let me put this up one more time. Take a moment, give. And we're tracking the giving throughout the day. We'll be giving updates as well when we're live. But here's ways that you can give. Cash App, $ Gabe's Heart, Give-A-Thon. You can type the bit.ly link here, or you can put Give-A-Thon plus Gabe's Heart Foundation, and it'll pop right up. PayPal is paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation. And then you can just go to gabesheart.org, gabesheart.org. All right, Sean, we'll come right back to you with some tips.
Yeah, so there's always money out there for those who want to go back to school. I want to challenge you to think about going back to school in a different way. I want you to look for schools that are looking for adult learners. right? There are a lot of people who do not finish college degrees for whatever the reason. And there are a lot of schools out there that have programs to help you get those last credits so that you can get a degree. Find those schools and apply there first, right? Don't sign up. Don't give your money to anybody yet until you get the money. So many people rush to go to a school. You say, oh man, I'm going to go get my doctoral degree from Capella. But you don't realize that Capella may be charging you $43,000. Why would you put yourself at Capella when you could have been somewhere else that would have paid you? So I want you to do your research before you jump. Don't pull the trigger just yet. Let's spend some time looking. There are plenty of scholarships for especially women who have children and want to go back to school. There's money out there. And don't forget your community colleges. There's nothing wrong with the community college. As a matter of fact, for those who have kids in high school, it's smart if you can use the community college for your kids to accrue some of those credits, and they will transfer and knock off years from your kid having to pay tuition at a 4-year institution. So just a few tips I wanted to drop and share, and I hope you're able to use them. And more importantly, I hope that, pray that, believe that you will give to this organization. It is worthy. Listen, you don't have to choose us or this person. It can be and, right? At $9.50, this is doable for you and all of your friends. I'd love to hear from you, Mackenzie. It's a cup of Starbucks coffee. This is a latte. This is your lunch. And some of us, I know we can lose a meal. I can lose a meal. I can lose about 3 or 4 of them.
We need to stay away. Let's get off of that subject right here.
Coming up with Thanksgiving.
I know, Thanksgiving. I actually lost some weight messing with one of our sponsors, Ivan Major Jacobs with MajorPT.com. If you all haven't checked out MajorPT.com, I will put him up to let you know that he is one of our episode sponsors today as well. And Ivan is a young man that actually he's my son. And I encourage you all today to go over to his social media pages because he's helping to raise $4,000 for his initiative as an ambassador with cystic fibrosis with the Boomer Esiason Foundation. And so I have 5 kids, y'all. I can't just talk about one all the time, So with Ivan, his desire is to help raise $4,000 today on Giving Tuesday. And he is one of our episode sponsors. So I want to put his information, MajorPT.com, and also just give you a visual that he took the time to go on a personal weight loss journey. And I'm not going to play his commercial, but he actually took the time to go on his own personal weight loss journey and went from this to now, after losing 100 pounds and becoming National Association of Sports Medicine certified, where he does training for people virtually and in person. So obviously, if you're around the country, it would be virtual training, but he's gone to this.
Sign me up. Let me get in here.
So that's his transformative journey. You can learn more at MajorPT.com. He also recently became an author, and I want to acknowledge the fact that he is a part of Healthopedia, which has 42 authors in the book. And Ivan Major Jacobs is one of the authors. So you all make sure you check him out at MajorPT.com and let him know that Kim, his mommy, sent you his way. Go ahead, Sean.
Now listen, from the Auntie Coalition, the Auntie Delegation, I'm going to tell you right now, do not reach out to this young man about anything except for trying to get some physical therapy and get yourself together. I don't care if you got nieces, cousins, daughters. It's not that kind of party. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay.
That's funny.
I'm off my pedestal now because...
Okay. Well, he has lots of testimonials over there on his MajorPT.com site. So you'll hear people saying their rave reviews about him and his services. And he's just a kind guy. So make sure you all check him out as well. All right. Tell people one more time how they can give to the Give-A-Thon today for Gabe's Heart Foundation. And then we'll go on to a commercial. Tell everybody. You want to say something else?
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, you're going to go on Gabe's Heart Foundation. You can give there. You can give through PayPal. You can give through Give-A-Thon. You can give through Cash App. That's probably the easiest one. $Gabe's Heart Come on, $9.50, $95. Now listen, you might not want to send $9,500, but if you want to give that money and you are representing a company, we can make that happen for you. We're not going to turn down any donation. The point is just give today. And guess what? Give tomorrow. Every time you think about it, you can give. This information is not going anywhere. We need the support. More importantly, there are organizations around the country that need our help. Your church probably needs our help, especially if they don't have an AED. And so we're willing to do that. We just need you to link arms with us and make it happen.
Yes, you are a godsend. So thank you so much, Sean,
Thank
for
you.
everything. And we're going to you know what, Mackenzie, thank you backstage for helping me. Thank you all for tuning in to today's Give-A-Thon on Giving Tuesday. Our goal is to raise $45,000 today. We're going to take a commercial break. Sean, are you going to go ahead on with the rest of your day, or are you?
I'm out.
Okay, everybody, listen. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back to talk more about how you can give to Gabe's Heart Foundation on this Giving Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Why learn about health when you can experience it? Experience it in beautiful Florida in February 2024. Join us for 3 days of integrative and intensive health and healing education and empowerment with the expertise of the following Healthopedia author, speaker, and facilitators. The world-renowned homeopath and acupuncture physician, Dr. James Marinakis, 4-decade health coach and holistic nutritionist, Dr. Joe D. Bear, and others such as Kimberly Meredith, Dame Doria Cordova, Rex Sykes, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Serena Brown-Travis, and more. Experience daily morning walking and yoga, interactive participation, panel discussions, and more for your own epiphany of health. Get your tickets now.
All right, everyone, we are back and just having an opportunity to hear from Sherelle Mims and from Sean Hall has just been an enlightening opportunity, and just encouraging people to give on this Giving Tuesday, which is a day where you can choose any nonprofit organization that you desire to support. And we are encouraging you to select Gabe's Heart Foundation as your nonprofit of choice. Now, I do have with us today also Dr. Joe D. Bear. And so I would love for us to hear from her shortly. And I am going to allow that to happen after I just tell you ways again that you can give. Today, you've tuned in to hear about our goal to raise $45,000. Now, I believe that's very doable, and it's possible, and it's necessary. And the reason I feel that way is because Gabe's Heart Foundation, we will be putting those defibrillators in places around the country that have been identified, that will be identified even through some of you all requesting to have this be the case, where you'll be able to have a defibrillator that allows for some extended amount of time for the paramedics to hopefully be able to arrive to perform their life-saving measures. Now, we know that traffic happens. I mean, they're sideways, running the sirens, and they're doing everything within their existence to get to the person that's in need. But that still simply takes time. It takes sometimes 12, 15, in Gabe's case, it took about 15 minutes for the paramedics to arrive. Okay. But I'll leave it generic that by the time that much time goes by and there's nothing there other than CPR, it's kind of hard to, anything. By that time, a lot of time has gone by. And so we don't want that to happen, okay? We want for something to be on hand right at that moment that can be used to allow the time for the paramedics to arrive. Then their work can begin. And when they do arrive, they're doing everything within their existence to save that person's life. I have never seen people work so hard and so, I mean, they're soaking wet. They need to change clothes. They don't have time to change clothes. They're just pouring their soul into saving that person. So I want to commend every paramedic. I want to thank every emergency personnel that are arriving on these scenes in the hospitals when the patients arrive to the hospital. I thank first responders that are out there with American Red Cross and any organizations that are out there responding to the needs of individuals that are in crisis. You are so, your nurses, the doctors, the office administrator, the person just on the phone taking the dispatch call, whoever you are, whoever you are, whoever you are. I don't know how often people say thank you. I don't know how often people say thank you to you all, but thank you. Thank you. And then on top of that, for those that are in situations like what I experienced, you don't ever know when somebody's watching you or paying attention to how you behave in a situation. There was a moment that I had asked everyone in the room to clear the room because I said, listen, I need to seriously pray right now and pull back to my remembrance every scripture that God ever put in my heart, anything, just please, Lord, bring back to my remembrance, because I really, 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 I wanted it to be a different outcome. I just wanted it to be a different outcome. And I said, maybe if I pray and say different things that I know I've done before and I've seen the outcome of those prayers for other people. I witnessed the outcome for other people. So, yeah. So I really wanted it to be the same outcome for this situation, obviously, And so anyway, I I prayed. I prayed hard. I prayed real, real hard, clearly. But we don't know what the reason is why our time on this earth sometimes we all of us are going to experience this, where we're not sudden cardiac arrest, but we're all going to experience a time when we will depart from this earth. We're going to do that. It's a given. And so we know that that's inevitable. And we don't know the day or the time or the hour that it's going to happen. And it'll be whenever our time is. I understand that. But the beautiful thing is, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, I know. I was saying that, mm, doggone. Yeah, I was saying that I can't think of what I was saying. Oh, you never know why when people are paying attention to you, because what happened is there were so many people, nurses and everybody around, and I was just being who God created me to be, but I was praying very diligently, obviously, and was going in praying, asking God different things. And so I thought about later, many years later, at I was meeting somebody for coffee, and the lady told me that the reason that she came to our church at the time, and I was like, I said, "What made you come?" I didn't know her story. She said, "I was one of the nurses." Yeah, she said, "I was one of the nurses that was at the hospital when your son passed." And she said, "I didn't say anything. Didn't say a word. You never even probably knew I was there." But she said that she just stood and observed me and paid attention to me the entire time. And during her time of paying attention to me, I see all of your communications and everything and your donations coming in. Thank you. Um, she said, during the time that I paid attention to you, I just wanted you to know that you were an inspiration to me. You were encouraging me and you were inspiring me, and how you handled all of the nurses and the doctors. You were just going to the extreme to be nice to everybody. even in the midst of what you were dealing with. And I wasn't trying to just be so nice or anything. I was just being me, you know? I was just being Kim. I wasn't attempting to do anything or to see how anybody was paying attention or anything like that. I just was just being true to who God created me to be. And so she said, it's because of your spirit and how you handled us as nursing personnel and as medical staff. She said, people don't handle us like that. And even in the midst of your own crisis and sorrow and grief, knowing that I wouldn't leave the hospital that day without my son. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave the hospital without a child that came out of my body. And there are no words to describe. No words. Nothing, no social media post, nothing that you can paint a picture of. Is just yay, you cannot paint that picture. But at the end of the day, if I say that I know where my son is, then I have to also live that out on earth. And so for me, again, I decided that I know where my hope and my strength lies. I know where my strength comes from, and I know where my son is. And so I'm very grateful and thankful for that, because that's ultimately what I believe I'll be reuniting with him one day as well. And I will tell you that I I begged, and I'm not suicidal or anything like that, but I begged the physician to take my heart. And so I guess I was trying to figure out, well, if you can be a heart donor and somebody can have somebody else's heart beating in their chest, I've lived a good life. So can I be a heart donor for my son? And of course they thought, cray cray. They were like, what? No, you can't do that. Oh, but I was so sincere that I wanted to give my heart. I wanted to give my heart because I would rather him be able to live a full life on this earth and still live out. At 12 years old, he had already made such an impact. I mean, he had fans like how the Michael Orr guy had. He had fans and people he was signing their autographs at 5'10", a giant. He's a giant guy walking on this earth and just so gentle, named after two angels, Gabriel, Michael, you know? And so I thought that was a normal thing. I was like, wouldn't any mom say, hey, take my heart? I'll be happy to give him my heart. Just do what you would normally do to transfer a heart. And when you got an immediate recipient, they collide and you make it happen. But I couldn't make that happen, unfortunately. But in a good way, I'm glad it didn't happen, because I needed to be able to be here for all of my children, not just one. So I'm grateful to God that I'm able to be here as a mom of 4 more children that are here on this earth that needed me to stay here and celebrate them and honor them and be their cheerleader and go through life with them on this earth. So God knows everything when it comes to what we need and what we go through. But I know one thing, that Gabe is celebrating. He is celebrating with us today. He celebrates with us all the time and in every aspect of life. So I wanted to, if I put this picture up here, it's actually going to be me sitting in the screen, but I am going to pop this up just so I'll pop this up. Let me let you see this. There are, can you see that? Those are my 5 children. And that's Frank Jr. back there. He's at UNC Chapel Hill. He's actually graduating from Chapel Hill coming up in December, actually. And then Ivan is at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, and he'll be graduating next year. He's one that's lost 100 pounds over there. Jeremiah is 18, just recently graduated from high school, working 2 jobs. He's doing the most. He helps people with websites and being able to help them with their websites. And he also helps them with overlays and different things that you'll see that different talk show hosts have. And then we have Jayla. Jayla is in the 10th grade, and she is an honor society honor student, does animations from scratch, and has a YouTube channel. She's doing a great job. And Gabe is in heaven, and he's with us every day. We're celebrating him today. And go to Gabe's Heart Foundation if you'd like to be able to give today. On behalf of Gabe's Heart Foundation, we're raising $45,000 is our goal to get defibrillators put in public spaces. And we're asking you to do it in any increments of $9.95 because that was his jersey number. And they retired that jersey as well. So that's now a retired jersey from the Northeast Dolphins. Coach Osai Kenny was the coach back then when he was when Gabe was at 12 years old. They went to the National Football Playoffs is what they actually did. It was pretty amazing. They were number 4 in the tournament, and it was like all kinds of football teams there present, and the Northeast Dolphins with Coach Osai Kenny and his team. I'll show you a couple. Let me see. Show you a couple of those pictures. That was pretty amazing. This is the team going for the playoffs. It was in Florida. And that's them with their championship. That's them right there with their championship trophy. And they got so many awards. But I thought it was just amazing to see the teamwork and how they pulled together to be able to have this victory. And that was literally like a week before Gabe passed in transition. So that was interesting times. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is, again, put up the way that you can give. Here are ways that you can give today. You can scan that QR code, and it'll take you right to Give-A-Thon. You can also go to gabesheart.org. You can go to $Gabe's Heart on Cash App, and paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation. We're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back. And we're going to get a chance to hear from Dr. Jody Bear right after this break. We'll be back.
Hello there. I'm Dr. Jody Bear, known as America's top foundational
There
health
you go,
coach.
Mackenzie.
For over 4 decades, I have focused on helping my client patients with foundations of health, foundations of living, and foundations of hope. And today, I want to give my best to Giving Tuesdays, Gabe's Foundation, and Kim Jacobs. There are 5 things that I want to stress. First is your immune system, keeping your T cellars boosted so that there is not myocarditis. There aren't heart disease in these young children or adults. How do you keep your immune system high? Vitamin C, B12, and my personal created V-Guard will absolutely boost your immune system and your killer T cells. When your immune system is boosted, you do not have inflammation. And inflammation is the number 1 cause of all disease, but it's caused by stress. And stress is number 2. Make sure that you have quiet, revive time. This is for both adults and children. That meditation and prayer time is essential. And supplementation is number 3. With supplementation, there's an Ayurvedic treatment that's Ajuvic. Ajuvic will absolutely calm the nervous system, calm your cardiovascular system, along with turmeric, NAC, called analytocysteine, and MSM, monosodium methane, will absolutely decrease the inflammation in the arteries and make the blood flow. The best, though, is prevention, because, as I always say, the body is a miracle-making machine. It can and will heal itself. But prevention, and as I've said on Kim Jacobs' show, I am a mother. I'm a mother of 2 world-class athletes. And I had them take an ultrasound, not only of their lung function, because I've had a situation with asthma as a child, and that puts stress on the heart. But have an ultrasound on your heart. Prevention is the best means for this. Then you can use supplementation, stress management, and immunology, because it is absolutely the truth. Let's prevent these things from happening. Let's prevent as much as we can with diet, exercise, stress management, and immune system boosting. Gabe can be the last one that dies of a sudden heart attack. And with defibrillators at each and every location, as Kim and the Gabe Foundation are working for and with, we can make Gabe's heart still keep beating. And this is Dr. Jody Bear saying, reach out to me at Jody, at Health Coach Jody. Jody is spelled Jodee, or Healthopedia365, or my website, drjodee.com. If I can do anything to support you and your family in the 6 pillars of health. I honor Kim, I honor her movement, and I honor what we are doing together, because when we're apart, we can't do it all. But together, we can do it all together.
All right, Dr. Jody Bear, America's top health coach, taking the time to give us just some insight and impart her wisdom. And you're right, together we can just do it so much better. And I'm grateful for her taking this time. She's so supportive of everything that we ever do with Gabe's Heart Foundation, with the Kim Jacobs Show. She's actually one of our episode sponsors, and I'm grateful for that as well. And if you listen to what she's saying that there is a way for us to all come together collectively. It's not anything to do with any specific nationality, race, religion, any of that. If we know that there's something that can save a person's life by simply having it on site, having the defibrillator on site, that can make a difference in someone else's journey. I want to make sure that I put up how you can actually stay connected with Dr. Jody Bear. She put it in her video, and I thank you for that. And thank you for your words of wisdom and encouragement on this Giving Tuesday, Gabe's Heart Foundation Give-A-Thon. Today's episode is sponsored by Dr. Jody Bear. And let me share with you how you can, drjodee.com. And she has a big event that's coming up, and I'll make sure that we share more information about that. It's Healthopedia in Florida. And the phone number, if you want to learn more, is 800-820-0584. Again, it's 800-820-0584. And you can visit drjodee.com, drjodee.com. Her email is jody@healthcoachjody.com, and her social media handle is @healthcoachjody. All right. Let me see if we have, I think, because I'm in all different platforms over here, which is a good thing because we actually stream in 100 countries and 350 million households through CTR Media Network. So I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Tina Ramsey and let you all know that we do broadcast our program there as well. So here are the ways again for you to, let me put this one up. I think this would be, I'd rather put this one so you'll be able to see how you can give today, but not just today, any day. Let me make sure you know there are ways for you to give on today, Giving Tuesday, but you're also going to be able to give any day that you choose by going to gabesheart.org. Cash App is $Gabe's Heart. Givelify, you can go to the bit.ly link here, or you can type in give GIVELIFY plus Gabe's Heart Foundation, and it'll take you right to the Givelify page. You also can go to paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation, or you can scan the QR code that you see right there. Let me give you a moment to do that. Give you a moment. right. Thank you for giving to Gabe's Heart Foundation. All right. I'd also like to just take a moment to thank some of our 2023. I'd like to thank our 2023 sponsors that sponsored our 5K walk this year. And I'm really grateful for the sponsors that took the time to be a part of our initiative. Let me see. I want to pop some of them up just so you all see. Again, this is our Give-A-Thon that's happening today. And so we will be ending soon on this particular broadcast. We'll be back again at 5:00 p.m. today. And we'll have some additional guests popping on and sharing their journey with sudden cardiac arrest or any shared stories that they would like to share at that time. You can visit gabesheart.org if you want to go ahead and be a part of contributing today, which we encourage you to do that. And we're asking you to contribute in any increments of like $9.50, $950, $9,500, anything towards the $45,000 goal, but it doesn't have to be in those increments. That's simply because the jersey that was retired for Gabe is literally a jersey that had, number 95 on it, looking like an NFL jersey. So that's why we use those increments. But your contribution of any amount is greatly appreciated. This is the memorial room here with Gabe's heart. And so you'll see actually on this particular picture there, it has that's his jersey that got retired, number 95. And it looks like an NFL jersey, as you can see, because he was 5'10" and wearing a 13 grown man shoe. So when he was playing football, that's a size 13 shoe right there on that mantle. But Gabe would stop the football game and help the person up. And the coaches would be like, "You can't do that, Gabe. No, you can't stop the game." He's like, "Coach, I just want to make sure he wasn't hurt." Like, "Get up, Gabe, get up." All right. Yeah. So go to gabesheart.org and you can also do Cash App, PayPal, or Give-A-Thon. And those are some of the ways that you can contribute to Gabe's Heart Foundation today. Let's take, if we can, another commercial break, and then we're going to come right back and do some wrap-up things. We'll be right back right after this break, everyone.
Why learn about health when you can experience it? Experience it in beautiful Florida in February 2024. Join us for 3 days of integrative and intensive health and healing education and empowerment with the expertise of the following Healthopedia author, speaker, and facilitators. The world-renowned homeopath and acupuncture physician, Dr. James Marinakis, 4-decade health coach and holistic nutritionist, Dr. Joe D. Bear, and others such as Kimberly Meredith, Dame Doria Cordova, Rex Sykes, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Serena Brown-Travis, and more. Experience daily morning walking and yoga, interactive participation, panel discussions, and more for your own epiphany of health. Get your tickets now.
Right, everyone. So we're excited about being here today and just being able to raise funds where we can get portable defibrillators placed in public spaces around the country. We also have a gala coming up and many initiatives that we're working on, but definitely excited about the defibrillators that we're able to get to be placed in these public spaces where young people congregate. So we are encouraging you to use one of these formats to actually donate, and we will definitely let you know that people are donating and contributing. So take a moment and just screen. If you can use that QR code, it'll take you right to Give-A-Thon. It'll show up on Give-A-Thon that you are donating as well. So take a moment and do that. And I'm also Cash App and PayPal. So we have all of the different platforms I see that you sent a donation to Virginia. Thank you so much for your donation. I was trying to pull some of these things up in real time so I can give you all some shout outs here. And I see that you different things that are, yes, I thank you so much. We just accepted your donation and going to different platforms because people are donating on different platforms. And I want to take a moment to, do some acknowledgement as well on each of these broadcasts that's happening today, and not just have it happen and you don't get a chance to know in real time some of these donations. Yes, I see your donation. Thank you so much. Rutherford Hall, thank you. Okay, let's see. And any of you all that donate, please feel free to go ahead and start submitting your donations. We are greatly appreciative of it. I see your donation, Sean Hall, which is very generous of you. Yeah, thank you so much. And I see your donation, the Feeser family, and I see your donation, which will help get several of the defibrillators, and we have that earmarked for. So definitely thank you all for your contribution. And let's see. I want to acknowledge people. That's important to me too, that we acknowledge the giving and stuff that's happening. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for Giving Tuesday. Today is one of the largest days of giving across the country. And let me see here. I see some other people. I see other people that's donating. Angela, thank you so much. I see you, Angela Permenter. Thank you so much for your donation today here on Giving Tuesday. And again, also on different platforms. So I'm kind of multitasking looking here and greatly appreciate your contribution. I see you, Fabi. Thank you so much for your contribution to Gabe's Heart Foundation. Desdemona, thank you. Covenant Marriages, thank you. Let's see, I see all kinds of different things happening. So just want to thank you all on whatever platform you are donating today to Gabe's Heart Foundation. We greatly appreciate it. And keep your donations coming in. They can be, it doesn't matter what the amount is appreciated and needed. And it will go towards being able to get defibrillators placed in public spaces. Trying to make sure that we do see all of the transactions. So this is a Give-A-Thon. So on a Give-A-Thon, it's live. We're here. We're making it happen that we all get a chance to see what's happening towards the goal being met here. We are obviously intending to meet this goal, but the only way that can happen is by having people. I see you these are people that have contributed actually to the 5K walk as well. And so I'm naming some of them. And so thank you all, Pamela and Luing, and thank you, Dorothy Richmond. Thank you, Carrie Ann. Thank you, David Cabell. Thank you, Angela Permenta, Mary Major, Ally, Israel Dora. Thank you. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Wendy Davison. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Thank you, Bob, the Feesers. Thank you so much, Dr. Connie Green, Lori Dvorak. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Cheryl Cook. Thank you, Camille Sanders. Thank you, Pink Pearls of Hope. Thank you, Fatima Lewis. Thank you, Sherilyn Ryan. Thank you, Journey into Purpose. Thank you, CTR Media Network. Lots of contributions that have come in throughout 2023 with our initiative of having our 5K walk. Thank you so much, Abundant Life Cathedral. And thank you so much for, this is just on one platform. There are so many other platforms that we have. And I will take a moment and put some of our formal sponsors for our 5K walk. And let's put some of them up now. Thank you so much, Abundant Life Cathedral. You can learn more about them at alkojic.org. Again, without our sponsors, we wouldn't even be able to have a 5K walk or anything like that. I want to let you all know too. We have commemorative t-shirts that are available, and that's for 2023. So if you know that you would like to have a t-shirt that you would like to get, it has all of our sponsors on the back for 2023. And we host this on every fourth Saturday in September, a 5K walk that we host to raise awareness about sudden cardiac arrest in youth. And we do have some of these t-shirts that are still available, and it's free shipping. So if you would like to go to gabesheart.org and let us know you want a t-shirt or something, or you can email us and let us know, we will make sure that you get one of those t-shirts. It's I think it's $20 or something to get the t-shirt. Another one of our sponsors is Howard and Howard Event Management and Catering. They are at howardandhowardevents.com. allroadseducation.com was one of our sponsors this year. jeremiahjjacobs.com. And again, you can learn more about each of these sponsors, and I'll put them over in the comment section. Hunter-Everidge.com, Hunter Everidge Law Firm. MajorPT.com. Thank you all so much for your sponsorship this year. Lotus Riché Ignites You. Lotus Riché IgnitesYou.com. Always Play to Win. And they're on Facebook under Always Play 2, the number 2 sign, win. motherdreamer.com/join. If you're a mom and you're looking to join an organization where we are helping to dust off some of those dreams and goals that maybe you had to put on the side when you were obviously working with your children more in the younger years. Courtney Wellness Companion on Facebook with 2 E's, Courtney. Thank you so much. Food Line was one of our sponsors this year. BrisbaneAcademy.org. And then this is all in regards to Gabe's Heart Foundation and some of the sponsors that sponsored throughout 2023. Chick-fil-A was one of the sponsors in the Concord, North Carolina area. Courtney Wellness is at Courtney with 2 E's _wellness companion. Diva's $5 exclusive boutique. If you're looking for some paparazzi jewelry, you can go and visit the Facebook page at Diva's 5 exclusive boutique. Servant Church and servantnc.church, and that's with one of our board members who is the vice chair of Gabe's Heart Foundation, Pastor Selwyn Davis. So I want to make sure you know about their church, servantnc.church. Pastor Selwyn and Lady Cassandra Davis are serving the community way beyond just the 4 walls of their church. They're going out and feeding the homeless faithfully and providing quite a few services to the community. We have Abundant Faith Worship Center with Bishop Amir May and Lady Kenya May. They are doing a dynamic work abroad here in the North Carolina area, but also he is appointed as the bishop in Dubai. And so I want to make sure you know that their initiative is going way beyond here in the United States, and honored to have them as one of our sponsors as well. All of our sponsors we're grateful to have. I encourage you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which the Kim Jacobs Show is one of the sponsors as well, right on YouTube. And we come on daily at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I encourage you to definitely tune in, because we bring in guests that are balancing different aspects of their lives. They are able to share their relatable stories and journeys to be able to help you get to the other side of whatever you might be dealing with, and provide that missing piece of the puzzle. If you're a busy mom or a woman or executive and you got all these things that you're doing, or you've been through some horrific childhood experiences, but you just really may not know how to even get unstuck from some of those things, guess what? The guests that come on the Kim Jacobs Show, you get to learn more about. Leadership Develop Me, Dr. LaWanna Grant. This woman, you have to connect with her. She has female leaders in ministry and marketplace. She also is the pastor's wife, and Dr. Daryl Grant, Pastor Daryl, Bishop Daryl. He had a lot of titles, okay. But Bishop Daryl Grant, newly appointed bishop, and she's Dr. LaWanna Grant. And together they are a powerhouse couple that's just making tremendous headway abroad and everywhere that their hands touch. I do believe things turn to gold for them. And so you can learn more about her leadership trainings, her books, and everything that she has that is very impactful to society. You want to be able to stay connected with her at leadershipdevelopme.com. And you can learn more about her at Dr. LaWanna S. Grant. And everything that she has going on, you want to be a part of it. Okay. Journey into Purpose with Sandra Rumpf. She actually has an authors forum that she does. And these are sponsors for the Gabe's Heart Foundation throughout 2023. I see your donations coming in. Let me take a moment and I'll come right back to the sponsors. But I want to take a moment and say, today we are doing a Give-A-Thon to raise $45,000 right here on Giving Tuesday. We're going to be live here throughout the day at different times. We'll come back again today at 5 p.m. And so you'll be able to hear some other stories from people that'll be joining us during that block of time. And you can go to gabesheartfoundation.org to be able to learn more about how you can donate and contribute. We're asking you to donate any amounts. You can donate $9.50. You can donate $950, $95, $9,500. But the goal is to get $45,000 this Giving Tuesday to go towards raising funds to get defibrillators put in public spaces around the country. Now, if you think that your organization needs a portable defibrillator and you would like to be considered, definitely send an email with your story of your organization and the makeup of what that brick and mortar facility is like, because we don't want to just send it for online services. We want to send the actual defibrillators for places where they can be stored and placed right there on site to allow for the paramedics to have time to get there if there's a crisis situation. So if you believe your organization should receive a defibrillator, just email kim@gabesheartfoundation.org, or you can email julia@gabesheartfoundation.org, and we will definitely share it with the board of directors and let you know if you are able to receive that defibrillator. And as Sean also said, you can actually get together collectively, put your donation together as a group and say, we're going to donate enough to be able to get a defibrillator placed somewhere. And one of the lowest quotes that we've received so far is about a little less than $700. And if we want to go with the one that has the program management kit with it, it's closer to like whatever Sean said earlier, because she has the pricing. We've been approved by Defibitech, the organization that's approved us for these particular defibrillators to start being placed places. And that's a whole process in itself. So we do have the approval as an organization. Gabe's Heart Foundation can start that process. So just help us get the funds and be able to make that possible. Today's episode is sponsored by vproducts.store. vproducts.store. You want to get that coffee for whatever is going on with the commercial we played with the coffee. People love that mushroom infused coffee. And remember, today's episode is also sponsored by Dr. Jo D. Bear. And you can learn more about her Healthopedia Florida event that's coming up in February. It's going to be drjod.com/Healthopedia-Florida-event. So you can learn more there. And our other episode sponsor is Attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm. All right, you can learn more about them by calling 704-457-5000. If you're dealing with a workers' compensation claim, you're dealing with disability or wrongful death of a loved one, please make sure you give them a call and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. 704-457-5000. All right, any comments? Please pop some of those comments up so I can address some of those. Oh, bless you, Julius. Hello. Glad to see you. Love you too. Owen, Elder Owen Forbes, how are you? Glad to see you today. Glad you came on. We truly appreciate all the medical service personnel. You are truly providing an exceptional service to humanity. Thank you so much, Virginia, and thank you so much for your contribution too. All right. All right. Thank you all. I see you, Mackenzie, saying you want to go back to school. And based on Sean Hall coming on, hopefully that's a way. Yeah, I see you saying you're going to stay connected with her. Yes. All right. So let's keep it moving. I want to go back for a minute and just thank some more of our sponsors throughout 2023. I think I picked up, left off. Mackenzie, can you see those for me? Pop Smile Pediatric Dentistry up, and I'll keep going. Only if you can see it. Okay, let me see. Yes, Smile Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics. MyKidsSmile.com is one of our sponsors. And again, the thing that I am talking about right now is if you participated in our 5K walk, it was our eighth annual 5K walk. And these are the sponsors that contributed throughout 2023. So I'd just like to acknowledge all of our sponsors. If you did not get a copy or copy your own t-shirt, definitely let us know. And it's $20. You can get a commemorative t-shirt shipped right to you. Shipping is already included and it's $20. All right, Execu Business Center. Just want to thank you for being our primary sponsor this year and helping to ensure that we are able to place multiple defibrillators into public spaces. So thank you so much for your contribution. And if you are anywhere in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, they have office spaces that are available, that are places where you can have a designated location, very professional, and you will be so glad that you encountered them. All right, execubusiness.com. Thank you so much. I see you, Very Slade Foundation.org. Very's Slade Foundation. Very's story is awesome as well. And his mom, dad, and brother share their journey of having Very transition from this earth. So definitely go and learn more about Very's journey and also support their initiatives as well. Very's, VAREES, LADE Foundation.org. Very Slade Foundation.org. Thank you so much, Rose, for what you do to share Very's journey and for keeping his memory alive. All right, let's see other sponsors. Hope for All. Hope for All is actually having a winter gala this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be December 2nd. And so they have city officials that will be there. They're going to be talking to you about the free services that they offer in the community to help really make sure that everyone has some hope. Not one person is left out when it comes to Hope for All in Charlotte. So make sure you go and see right on their page, the Winter Gala. They have a few vendor slots still available, vendor tables, but there are no tickets that will be sold at the door for that event. So make sure you get your ticket and dress up, and you're going to come out and be celebrated and fed very well and have a great time at the Winter Gala celebration, December 2nd at 6 p.m. HopeForAllCharlotte.org, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Believe in Your Dreams TV network with Dr. Nicole Peters. The Kim Jacobs Show is also will be streaming into that platform in the 2024 timeframe. We've signed contracts a long while ago, so it's exciting opportunities and times there. You don't want to miss anything that Dr. Nicole Peters is doing with Believe in Your Dreams TV network. You can go to believeinyourdreamstv.com. They are one of our sponsors this year for Gabe's Heart Foundation. Les Brown, anything Les Brown is doing, we know is epic. So you can visit lesbrown.com. He's an international motivational speaker. He's been a radio, television personality, my mentor for many years. I've traveled with him. He endorses a program that I do, teaching people how to start their own virtual shows from scratch. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can reach out to me directly. But lesbrown.com, any of the programs he has going on, you want to be a part of it. He's one of the living legends that still is here on this earth and imparts so much wisdom to everybody, pulling out the greatness in you. So check it out, lesbrown.com. Foundational health coach Jody Bear. We talked about her, and you can learn more about her at drjody.com. She was one of our sponsors for Gabe's Heart Foundation this year. Millennium Temple Baptist Church with Pastor Damon Miller and his lovely wife, Mrs. Miller. You definitely, whatever they're doing over there, you want to learn more about it, because he's the person that was at the cemetery that Gabe was laid to rest at Gethsemane Gardens. And I've just grown so fond of him and his family and everything that God is blessing them to do. He takes great care of making sure that Gabe's gravesite is immaculate. And I'm so grateful for him and his family. And go and learn more. Whatever they got going on is excellent. I can tell you that. It's excellent. Dr. Connie Green, thank you for being one of our sponsors for 2023. Dr. Connie Green, Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green. She actually went through my training on how to start a virtual show from scratch. She's one of the graduates and the students. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Connie Green, for using your tips and your talents. And Virginia Rutherford Hall, earlier when I talked about her, she was one of the donors here. She also went through the training, and she has a show called Wings of Wisdom. And so you want to be able to check that out each week as well with Virginia Rutherford Hall. So Dr. Connie Green, thank you for being one of our sponsors for Gabe's Heart Foundation this year. We greatly appreciate it. You all tune into her Wisdom Tips show and stay connected with her, drconniegreen.com. Northwest Cabarrus Middle and High School and Mallet Creek Elementary, those are the schools that Gabe attended, the middle school and the elementary school, before he transitioned. So just want to make sure that I acknowledge different sponsors throughout 2023. We'll be doing that throughout the day. Estateplanningawareness.com. She has an event coming up soon with making sure that you know that. And again, let me go back. Estateplanningawareness.com. How do you prepare when someone is actually transitioning from this earth, that you're prepared that they did transition? You want to know how to have some estate planning in place, okay? Estateplanningawareness.com. I also just want to acknowledge Lori Dvorak, Cheryl Cook, Angela Pimenta, Melissa, Pink Pearls, a lot of you all, Carrie Ann Hilliard. I definitely want to take a moment to acknowledge. She has a book that helps adolescents. She helps with a program, Help Adolescents Speak Out, so young people get a chance to use their voice to be able to say what they have going on. She also has Overcoming Single Parent Obstacles book, and that book is a game changer. But she has a new book coming out. I'm not going to reveal the title, but I cannot wait for that to hit the scenes as well. But everything you want to know about Carrie Ann Hilliard, go to carrieannhilliard.com. And thank you, Carrie Ann, for being one of our sponsors. And I saw your donation. Thank you. Thank you. vproducts.store is today's episode sponsor. All right. And again, we have so many other people that have been pouring in. I may not have named you all by name, but I will tell you we are greatly appreciative of your contribution, whether it be from purchasing a t-shirt to just giving some type of donation. Lisa Thomas, I want to say thank you for your hearty contribution to Gabe's Heart Foundation. I do not take it for granted, and I thank you for that. I know you didn't want a specific company necessarily I acknowledged or anything, but I do want to just say thank you directly as well. All right. Yes, today's episode is sponsored by MajorPT.com as well, and Dr. Jody Bear and Attorney Charles Everidge and Jeremiah J. Jacobs. All right. I think that's a lot that we covered today. I want to go back and, Shirley, thank you, Shirley Murphy, you guys. If you have not encountered Shirley Murphy, she has all kinds of global programs, and she's looking to honor and recognize global leaders around the world. She herself is a force to be reckoned with, and I've seen her receive so many accolades rightfully due to her honor and in her honor because she is well deserving of them. So you all stay connected with Shirley Murphy. And thank you for being here today. Shirley, I'm letting everybody know that today we are doing a Give-A-Thon. And this Give-A-Thon is in honor of Gabriel Michael Jacobs, Gabe's Heart Foundation. We're raising $45,000 today to put defibrillators, AED defibrillators, in public spaces where young people congregate. The whole point of that is to be able to have the paramedics have time to arrive. And then maybe whoever is on site that's certified can do the CPR and also do the defibrillation if that's needed to give the paramedics time to arrive. We're looking to raise $45,000 today on this Giving Tuesday, and you can donate at gabesheart.org. We ask that you donate in any increments of $9.95 because Gabe's jersey that was retired is officially the jersey 95. So you'll see that it was retired there, and we encourage you to donate. To donate any amount, $9.50. And I'm looking at all the different platforms in real time. So I've been acknowledging people that are sending in donations, but you may not be able to donate yourself, but you may forward this and share this with other people, and they might be able to donate. Or you donate whatever you can, and then let other people donate what they can. But all of it helps make a difference. And so I encourage you to donate today and to support on Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is the biggest day of giving around the country to nonprofit organizations that you would choose. You can do Gabe'sHeartFoundation.org. You can do $Gabe's Heart, PayPal.me. I'm going to put the image up in case anybody wants to scan this QR code one final time. That's the QR code. If you want to take your camera, your phone, scan it, and it'll take you directly to the Givelify site for you to be able to donate. And it'll tell you how much you're donating, and you'll be able to also print your giving statement right there, which is huge if you go to the Givelify site. And if you want to, you can donate on Gabe'sHeart.org, which is the website. Go right there, donate, and your contributions will go and be recorded. You can also go to $Kim. I mean, I keep saying Kim because I host my show and I usually say Kim, but you can go to, that's funny. I'm used to saying what I say for my show, but it's $Gabe's Heart is what you're doing it for today's cause that we're raising funds for the defibrillators, our Gala, and some of the other initiatives that we have going on, but primarily for the defibrillators. So I just want to make sure you know that your funds are going to help us be able to get these defibrillators put in public spaces around the country, not just in one local area, but around the country. So I see you I see all of your giving coming in, and we will update the thermostat and let people know that some more contributions are coming in. And thank you so much to the board of directors of Gabe's Heart Foundation for all of your diligence in helping to ensure that this is a successful Give-A-Thon that we're having here today. Let me see. All right. So there are some of the ways to give. And on that note, I think that we're going to just take a moment and take a break. We'll be back at 5:00 p.m. with some very enlightening information, as well as some heartwarming stories that you don't want to miss. So as you're transitioning home today, keep in mind that you'll be able to tune back in right here on the Kim Jacobs Show at 5:00 p.m. for an additional Give-A-Thon moments. Giving Tuesday in honor of Gabriel Michael Jacobs and Gabe's Heart Foundation. Thank you so much for everything that you've already done, and we'll see you at 5. Let me get ready to close us out. Thank you, Mackenzie. I know it's been extra work back there with you today. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you again at 5:00 p.m. Okay. Thank you, Mackenzie, for popping back on. All right. Everybody have a great day. We're going to close out.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience.